Ultimately, the goal of everything we do is to lead people into deeper and richer worship in their daily lives. Anchor Music Ministries developed out of the desire to help God's people to enjoy Him more fully in worship. On a mission trip to Ghana, West Africa, as part of a Covenant Theological Seminary team, I was asked to come back and train the musicians of Evangelical Presbyterian Church of Ghana. We didn't know of anybody else who was doing what we were being asked to do, and there was really no model to follow, so we just followed our desire and sense of calling to use our talents to enrich the worship of the church, and went. After 2 years in Ghana, we were invited to come to Brazil and do a conference in Goiânia and Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Over 2,500 people attended events in both cities in 2003, and that included Catholics, whom it was almost unheard of to have participated in any Protestant event there. So we were invited next to Italy, Bulgaria, Mexico, and even the local church in St. Louis, and we've been going ever since.
Having been to Ghana, Bulgaria, Italy, and Mexico, people who share common biblical commitments and understanding of God and the gospel, who express that worship in ways that are different than we do.
Anchored Music Ministries looks for the highest quality teachers we can find in the particular areas requested by the local church or the missionaries. And so far, I haven't had anybody say no. We want to provide tools which can be applied in any setting, not teach them how to worship our way.
We spend a lot of time before we go on a trip, not just sort of trying to read about the country and the culture, we do that, but talking with key leadership who are on the field in those places, interacting with them and trying to understand what it is they need, what they want, how we can help them.
Ideas are always thrown out there. There's been a willingness that I've appreciated to reconsider something when we're saying, well, maybe this won't work this way. We're concerned about this view here culturally. We appreciate that cultural sensitivity.
We also work hard to learn songs and translate materials into the local medium and musical styles.
Even if it's one or two simple songs that they normally sing in their language that are common to their worship experience, the people just respond over the top with enthusiasm.
We were able to learn some songs that they sing, have them learn some songs that we sing, and then bring those together in worship.
This partnership help us, both communities, the Anglo community and the Mexican community, to find a way in this context to praise the Lord as He deserves. Yes.
It makes them to understand that the worship service in their own language and their own musical form.
For us, the ultimate hope is that people will learn skills they can then take back and use to enrich the larger worshiping body in their local church by teaching it to others and practicing it in their daily lives.
One of the things I think is helpful too about what Anchor Music is doing is training in the role of planning worship and being really intentional about making the gospel the foundation of our worship services.
In 8 years, we've grown from 1 2-week workshop a year to doing 4 or 5 workshops and 2 or more other trips each year. The biggest struggle we have is communicating the importance of the impact to others, because good worship arts programs draw people to the church. And the result of that growth is always evangelism, discipleship, and furthering the kingdom.
Those who come for these courses, I mean, the majority of them are real novices in these areas. They have never studied music, and programs like this, they need to have some basics.
Gotten a lot of good ideas on how to improve the service, what to put at the beginning, what to put at the middle of the service, like do a better planning. We can talk about beats of the music, we can talk about the rhythms, and the people understand better what we're talking about.
I believe that from now on, the way I will play guitar is not going to be the same. Now I am capable of play with more colorful chords, and basically I think I have improved the way I will worship Lord from now on. I'm still amazed of what I have learned in just 5 days.
I must confess, I have benefited a lot from this workshop. This is the third time I've been participating in the workshop.
I think in terms of future work with Anchored Music Ministry, we have a whole border that we're trying to reach, and there are many other situations too that Wattis needs to continue to grow. I would hope that the music camp idea could continue, that could even someday give birth to a school with Mexican teachers.
We so appreciate folks who have been willing to contribute financially and with prayer to these ministries that we've had the privilege of being a part of, where they really want us to come. In fact, people want us to come more than we're able to go because of limited resources.
It's kind of hard to believe how far we've come in the past decade. I mean, sometimes I have to pinch myself in amazement when I look back at pictures or video. And I think of all the places we've been, all the friendships we've made, and all the special people who've touched our hearts.
It's been such a benefit to be exposed to how the people of God worship in other places, so that we don't get this narrow sort of North American Western view of things. And so many illustrations that I use in my worship class come out of these trips that I've been on and experiences we've had where we understand the principles we hold in common, but various ways of expressing them in worship setting through music and other elements of worship. And it's just so enriched and enhanced my world perspective on music and worship. I think that's had a great fruit in the way I teach here in North America.
It has been very good to see how the thirst for God is common all over the world, and that when we get down to it, no matter what the culture or the language, we all need to have fellowship with God, and to realize that the church is not just the little bubble that I live in.
Everyone has been a blessing to many people here, pastors, church members, church leaders. So I just have gratitude to the Lord for His blessings through Anchored Music Ministries. I pray that the Lord gives us many more years of partnership and in communion as brothers, teaching here at the border.
We really believe that humankind was made to worship God, and it's the ultimate goal of our existence. By developing worship leaders and artists, what we're doing is helping people to grow their hearts and ultimately their churches through richer, more meaningful, more purposeful worship. I really can't imagine a greater goal for missions, can you?